Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. This right here, 22 WRX Sport Tech with the Subaru Performance transmission. So it's a full load with the automatic, the new Subaru Performance transmission. This is in the ceramic white, and what I tell people about the ceramic white when you're looking at it, it's so white it makes other whites, pearl whites, look yellow. And it's true. We try to avoid having these next to the crystal white pearl Crosstrek, Forester, Outback, Ascent, etc. because they look yellow in comparison. This is a pretty flat white. So redesigned for 2022 model year. It's on the new Subaru global platform. It's powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. Produces 271 horsepower, which is plenty. And it only runs 12 pounds of boost. The old ones were 18 pounds of boost, and they got 3 horsepower less out of them. So this new engine, little bit better for sure. Drive-wise, it's quite nice. I really like the new hood scoop. I like the new hood on the WRX. It's got very, very aggressive shoulders to it. When you're sitting in it, I find it very, very attractive. Now, these headlights here, little smaller overall versus the previous gen. Fog light, bezel, and area, definitely different. But I really like the new front end. The headlights are steering responsive. I'll show you guys that in a minute. What I mean by that is they swivel. So when you turn it on, they kind of do a cycle from side to side to show you that they're working. It's a lot easier to tell if it's dark out. You can watch that happen. But we have the new body style. Definitely different than the previous gen. You've got the cladding around the wheel wells, which some people aren't a huge fan of. I understand the practicality about it. It protects those areas from getting rock chipped up. And those are areas that would normally get rock chips. We have functional vents, airflow, aerodynamics, brake cooling because of airflow. With the Sport Tech, you get the 18-inch, it's kind of a gunmetal metallic wheel, and they're on the Dunlop SP Sport Max GT tires. Good tires. I like the cladding. From a distance, these cars look like they're sitting slightly higher, a little bit more of a rally stance. And I know that's really just, again, an optical illusion with that because of the cladding. More fenders. These ones actually go onto the doors. And then at the back, all of the Sport Techs, you get that little lip spoiler. I would really like to see this from Subaru painted black, and I would like this piece of trim along the trunk to be body color. That's my personal preference. We've got the quad tip exhaust. You do have more functional vents. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up or if it's going to be at quite the right angle, but you can see the white paint in there. That's a functional vent. Keyless access to the trunk. Normally on the Subarus, it's between these two right here. It's just to the left of the big star on this one. Right there. Backup camera. Sizable trunk. You can fit 2 or 3 full-size salespeople in there. More if you cut them up. But the space is half a liter more than the previous generation. The previous generation cargo tray just about fits perfect, so you don't need to go and buy yourself a whole new cargo tray just for this. If you find one off of a previous one, or you're keeping your other WRX, you can probably make it work. Now, something that I get told on most of my videos is, why don't we get the spare tire in the States? Well, in Canada, you do. It's a temporary use only spare. It's speed rated to 80 kilometers an hour. They don't want it on the front tire. They don't want it as a steer wheel. They want it as a rear wheel. And it is a 205/50R17. So I have the part numbers for this on another video. I'll put that video in the video description below with a link to that. So you can order it. They are pricey, but if in the States they get the fix-a-flat kit, the temporary tire is definitely a better option. Or you double up, keep both with you. In the second row, plenty of room for passengers, good headroom, good legroom for a vehicle of this size. It is a sports sedan. It's meant to hold people in the back. You can do that. Now, it's the black and gray two-tone with the red contrast stitching. Subaru's always kind of had that red stitching interior on their higher end performance models. It even goes onto the headrest, on the door card. You've got your faux carbon fiber trim. If you need more storage, more length, these seats do fold down. And you could see, if you can see the red, that means it's not locked in. Just pull that seatbelt out of there. There, it's locked. If there's only 1 or 2 passengers, get the fold down armrest with the 2 cup holders. And out of the center console, heated seats, high and low for both rear passengers. The middle person doesn't get one in addition to having to sit in the middle. 2 USB ports for all your charging needs. Now, what I've had a couple people tell me is they're never gonna sit in the back seat, so why would I want those? Well, turn them on when you get takeout, and on the drive home, it'll help keep them warm. Up top, if you're gonna put crossbars on, they will be an accessory from Subaru eventually. Right now, there's a whole bunch of backlog on the WRX accessories, but that door flips up and you bolt it to the roof of the car. Very, very cool setup, very, very strong. You get the tilt and slide sunroof with this. The Sport and the Sport Tech get that. And now that I say that, I really like this white and black car. It's less of a white car, more of a white and black car. I call it Stormtrooper. I like that. I like black and white. That's all a personal preference thing. Up front, power windows, locks, mirrors, as you would expect. More faux carbon fiber trim. And you do have a Harman Kardon audio system in this car. Amazing audio system, it's great. Power driver's seat, of course, with lumbar, and these bolsters, they're firm, but you're not gonna hurt yourself getting in and out of them, and they hold you in the corners exceptionally well. If you have a chance to try driving one, I do recommend it. The Sport Tech gets red WRX emblems stitched on both headrests. That's another nice final little touch that you get in the Sport Tech. On the inside here, by the driver's left knee, you've got the ability to open the trunk. You can turn off traction control, and then you have your brightness, your scroll wheel for your brightness gauges. The steering wheel itself is the D-shaped steering wheel. A little bit of a flatter bottom. You can tell what weighs down. It's nice. It's nice to drive on. It feels good too. Carbon fiber, WRX trim. Bluetooth and audio controls on the left-hand side, make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. These arrows right here will cycle through the middle. Boost gauge, fuel economy for trip A, trip B, how long it's been running, compass, a bunch of different info, depending what you like to look at. Lots of people like the boost gauge. The old WRXs and STIs had it up top here. They've eliminated that and put it in the center. Right-hand side, you have adaptive cruise and lane centering. And that's both controlled through these 2 color stereo eyesight cameras. This is the most up-to-date eyesight setup that Subaru offers. I believe it's called 4.0. So wider field of view, all that great safety tech is through that. Does automatic emergency braking, pre-collision throttle management, and the automatic emergency braking actually saves you 10% on your basic ICBC insurance here in BC. You've got intelligent, sport, and sport sharp drive modes. So you've got intelligent, which is the blue line there, sport, which is the slightly more aggressive yellow, and then sport sharp, which is the purple, pretty much vertical. And the way I explain it to people, you've got everyday driving, passing, race car mode. If you have the chance to try driving one, put it through all 3 modes. You'll notice a big difference. It's a pretty cool feature. Auto headlights that you can't accidentally turn off. It defaults to auto. There's your fog lights. You do have paddles. Right is upshift, left is downshift if you want to manually select your gears. Over here, big touchscreen, 11.6 inches of touchscreen goodness. That's borrowed from the Ascent and the Outback and the Legacy. I do believe the Ascent's getting that in the next facelift version of the Ascent. Top portion here, it's kind of broken into 3 portions. This top portion, you can change those widgets around if you want. I like water temp, oil temp. Weather, that's part of the satellite radio trial for 3 months. Nav destination, and then what you're listening to. So if I were to put a navigation destination in map and go to that one and go to, say, the radio screen on this, it would still tell me turn right 200 meters. Very, very cool setup. So map, powered by TomTom. There is no subscription fee. You've got it for life. Let's go menu, search, and let's say pizza. So you don't actually have to have an address. You can just type in a point of interest, which is awesome. Sure, we'll go to Batula. Let's go. And it says right there. So if I go away from this, go to the radio screen, it still gives me my directions. So very, very cool, very, very handy. I say this is a little Monopoly house. That's the home screen. Media's Bluetooth, audio controls, aux cord, that sort of thing. Access to the My Subaru app, which isn't enabled right now because there's no subscription going on it. And then you've got dual zone climate control for you and your passenger. So you can either hit the physical buttons or press, adjust. And this is also where you turn on your heated seats. And there's 3 stages of heated seats for the driver and front passenger. Now, if the passenger is about to get out, or do get out, driver doesn't have to fiddle with that side. They just hit sync and it goes back to driver controlled. Fan strength's at the bottom here. Press that, you get to select where you want your airflow. You have front defrost and you have your side mirrors and back window defroster right there. Below that, little storage cubby, it's rubberized, not really for a phone, it's pretty small, but cords that you plug into the USB or the aux or the 12 volts, change, anything you don't want to misplace, it is rubberized to stop sliding around. As I mentioned, it's the Subaru Performance transmission, so it's the automatic. It's a blast to drive. I had a chance to drive one for about 10 minutes total. It's awesome. I would recommend trying it if you have that ability. Parking brake, pull up to turn it on. Foot down on the and push down. Foot on the brake and push down to turn it off. We've got our cup holders here, media foam storage, decent sized cubby in the armrest. And then there is a 12 volt in there as well. So, got lots of charging capabilities. This is the best feature ever, in my opinion, in any vehicle. Auto dimming rear view mirror. There's no switch to flick. If someone has their high beams on behind you, just automatically dims. Greatest thing ever. I love it. And you can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, part of the HomeLink system. You don't have to carry a bulky visor or opener on your visor. Also a lot harder to steal the mirror than someone break in and steal your garage door opener. You have a mirror with a light on both the driver and the passenger side. Up top here, above the mirror, you have SOS and roadside. So that's part of the 3-year trial to the connected services that you get with most new Subarus. In the automatic WRX, you do get the remote start from the app. It's a pretty cool feature. The manual transmission vehicles do not get that. You've got your sunroof controls, and it is just a manual shade and the regular size sunroof. Nothing overly fancy there. When you put it in reverse, backup camera automatically comes up. Rear assist braking's on, so it'll automatically apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something. Parking sensors let you know you're getting pretty close to something. And those orange lines move, show you you're gonna end up where you're gonna end up if you keep your wheel turned that way. So I am just backing in right now. And as you can see, we're still on the green. We're getting closer. And it shows up that green bar, and then it'll go yellow, and it starts beeping. So it's saying, hey, you're getting pretty close to it there. And actually, I'm gonna show you guys the steering responsive headlights, or how it cycles. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this up in front of the car on the little tripod that I have, and then I'm gonna go and turn on the car. So I'm just gonna pause it for a second. So I'm gonna turn it on, and if you watch, you'll see the headlight swivel slightly in the other one as well. Or hopefully you can with the light shining on it. Hopefully you were able to see that. So that's a brief overview of the 2022 Subaru WRX Sport Tech with the Subaru Performance transmission. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car or any of the cars in the Subaru lineup, please don't hesitate. Let me know. And if there's anything you want to see, tech options, you want to see how something works, please let me know. I do try to get back to all the comments, questions in and on all of my videos. So we'll talk to you guys soon. So I lied, I'm back. It's not the end of the video. I did mention that this white kind of makes the other whites look yellow. Hopefully you guys can see that contrast. That's a 2017. That's the same crystal white pearl that you see on pretty much every other white Subaru in the lineup. But yeah, it makes crystal white pearl look yellow. So I just kind of wanted to highlight that, and no better way than having them side by side. So yeah, check it out. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll talk soon.